Well, hello everyone. How is everybody today? Good, I hope. I thought we'd make some pistachio cookies. Let me just put the camera down a little bit more so you can see all the ingredients better. There. Okay. You want to make sure everything's ready. You want to line baking sheet with parchment paper. You want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. You're going to need an egg that you want to set out at room temperature, 3/4 cups of white sugar, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and you can either use a teaspoon of vanilla extract, but I like to use a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla and also a 1/2 teaspoon of almond extract in this. It's really good. And then you're going to need green food gel. You're only going to need a drop of that. And already in the stand mixer, I've got in 1.5 sticks of unsalted butter. Okay? Now, you're going to add in afterwards 1 2/3 cups of flour, a 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a 3.4 ounce box of pistachio jello pudding. It looks like that. Okay? And you're excuse me. You're also going to need 1 cup of white chocolate chips. And with these pistachio nuts, you're going to need like a 1/2 cup. And you can just chop them up, but I just grounded up mine, okay? And that's going to be, afterwards we're going to fold that in. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, remember, have your oven on, preheat to 350. We're going to cream together the butter and the sugars, okay? So I've got my 1/2 sticks of butter in, and I have 3/4 cups of sugar, 1/4 cup of brown sugar. All right, let's mix that all up until it's nice and creamy. If you've never had pistachio cookies before, you should try them. They're really, really good. Really good. Okay, let me just show you. Okay, that's all blended in good. All right, now you're going to add 1 egg. And you ever go to make something and you're out of something? Well, if something happens and if you're out of brown sugar, like I told you before, and you have molasses and white sugar, just make your own. It doesn't call for a lot of molasses. You just put some sugar in a bowl, a little molasses, and it takes a good few minutes. I usually use a large tablespoon. I just keep using the bottom of it and blending it in really well. And a little bit of molasses goes a long ways. And if you want dark brown sugar, then just add in a little bit more molasses. Okay? And that looks good. Now you add in your extract. Remember, I said you could use 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, but I'm using a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla and a 1/2 teaspoon of almond extract. I love almond. It's really good. Okay. Now we're going to add in, I use the Ann Clark's food coloring gel. They give off such nice vibrant colors, and a drop goes a long ways. You don't need very much. Okay, just 1 drop. And if you need to scrape down the sides of your bowl, make sure you do. Okay. Make sure that's mixed up really good. Okay, now be careful adding your flour. Start it off on low so your flour don't go shooting all over the place. All right. So just put that on low. Now add your pistachio pudding mix, the Jell-O. Remember, it looks like that. Okay, half a teaspoon of your salt, and a teaspoon of your baking soda. Nice and easy. Okay, that looks good. I do that because it helps get the dough off the paddle. Just don't lift too high because you want to make sure it stays in the bowl. All right. Clean up the paddle. Now we're going to fold in the white chocolate chips. Remember, 1 cup. And see that 1 drop of coloring, the nice green color it made it? All right, give that a good little stir around. And you're gonna wanna just make like little balls shape, and you want them to be, anywhere from 1.5 to 2 tablespoons. Pretty good size. If you have a cookie dough scoop, you can use that, but I always use just this tablespoon. Okay, now let's add in the nuts. Remember, you don't have to do them up fine, but I did. Otherwise, just chop them up a little bit. And then just stir it in there good so it's incorporated. Those pistachios smell so good. It's a good cookie. Remember, if you haven't tried it, there's nothing to it. Okay, let me see where my oven's at. It's at 350, good deal, okay. Remember, it takes like 10 to 12 minutes to bake them. The bottoms and just the sides are gonna start getting just a little bit brown. That's another way of telling when they're done, okay? All right. Get our baking sheet lined with parchment paper, and you're just going to form 1.5 to 2 tablespoon ball sizes, okay? And so there's 1, and there's almost 2. Take it in your hand and give it a little roll, just like that, okay? All right, let me get the rest of them made, and let me get them popped in the oven, and then I'll be right back to show you what they look like. Okay, everyone, the pistachio cookies are made. This gave me about 20 cookies, okay? And this is what they look like. What you want to do, see how they're nice and brown on the bottom, nice and golden? That's when you know they're done. And it made about 20 cookies that size. And make sure though, when you take them out of the oven, you let them sit on the baking sheet for a few minutes before you try to put them onto the wire rack to cool. All right? That's it, everybody. Have a good day. Take care and God bless you. Bye-bye.